All right, y'all know how we do. Always pushing help, wealth, better understanding the self. Y'all know how we do. So look, in this video, I'm going over reparations and divorce. Okay, we definitely need a divorce and get these reparations from the government because they making it, they dragging it out. But I'm gonna go over this video about some reparations, some movements that people are actually making. The mayor in Tulsa just got $105 million bill that he's trying to put together. We got Community Link just got a brother that set up a pretty much like an awareness to bring awareness to entrepreneurs and trying to bring a finance structure to the community to building us back up. So I'm gonna tap into both of them. Then I'm gonna go in, to some YouTube news. But first, man, I want to put it up for Community Link for this because this is I think what them Detroit boys is doing is good. I'm gonna take some calls at the end of this too, y'all. But let's get it. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button, man, if you like content like this. Let's get it.
We will discuss their journey as they have been formerly incarcerated themselves. We're going to have food trucks. We're going to have...
Hold on. This ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it. It's my man right here.
Ah, the Florida coast. Verbo has over 57,000 exclusive vacation homes on the Florida coast that Airbnb wishes they had. That's 57,000 exclusive perfect sunsets for your teen to miss because they're on their phone. 57,000 exclusive patios where Grandpa can man the barbecue in his "Kiss Me, I'm Flamus" apron. 57,000 exclusive hideouts to gleefully ignore your email. Make it a Verbo for your next Florida coast trip.
On Wish TV is brought to you by the Business Equity and Opportunity Show.
Thank you for joining us for Community Link. I'm Caroline Mays. Recognizing viable economic strategies, innovative business models, entrepreneurial zeal, Black Leaders Detroit aims to diminish disparities by providing lacking financial support. One way they raise awareness is with the Ride for Equity, which is coming soon to Indianapolis. Dewan, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
We have Dewan Dandridge, the CEO of Leaders for Detroit. We're having this discussion with you. You're in Detroit, but why is this organization so important to everyone, no matter your location, and what do you do?
Yeah, so at Black Leaders Detroit, we pretty much fund entrepreneurs of African descent. We service the nonprofit and for-profit sector, and we do that primarily through grants and no-interest loans. We've been doing that for the last 5 years, able to deploy over $4.8 million. We feel like we're just getting started, but we've proven concept here. So we're looking to share what's been working well for us here with other cities that have similar challenges.
And all our cities have those challenges, right?
Yes.
So we're
definitely
delighted that you...
So I like how he said he's willing to share. I was sent the video and the lady was explaining. I'll get to that video later, but other cultures, they get information, they know how to do stuff, and they share it with their own people. They put them on, they put them on, they put them on. And we'll be, in our community, we don't practice that. I'll say that. But let me let them up.
They're deemed so important.
Yes, definitely. So reparations is, basically saying something was broken, right, and it needs to be fixed. So we think that, especially as it relates to Black people and our experience here in the country, it's, probably so well documented, the experience that we've had when there was never an intentional effort to repair what was broken. At Black Leaders Detroit and the partners and our allies and everybody that's joining us on this journey, what we're saying is we're not going to wait for anybody to fix it. We will work towards fixing it ourselves.
So you're doing that with this Ride for Equity. What is the route and what's the significance of the route?
So yes, so definitely. So we're riding from Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma to Wall Street in New York. And the significance of that route is like we're talking about wealth being created by Black people in particular And, in places like Tulsa, Detroit, and many others where wealth was created and established, there was intentional efforts to disrupt that wealth and strip it from the community. But also there's places that, not places, but Wall Street in particular, where lots of the resources and I guess the economic boost was birthed out of slave labor. And a lot of people don't know that. But, Black people weren't able to benefit from the wealth that their labor created yet again. And what we're trying to do is create wealth. And I don't think we're just trying, we're actually creating wealth. And we just want to say, this time, let's come together and make sure that if there are efforts to try to come against it, that we come together as a community from all walks of life, all communities, to make sure that doesn't happen this time.
Well, thank you, Dewan, for doing that in our last few seconds. You're coming through Indianapolis. When and where will you be?
Yes, so thanks for asking. We will be coming from Terre Haute into Indianapolis on the 14th of June. So if somebody's like an avid cyclist, or you just like to cycle or support, you can come and meet us. You can follow us at rideforequity.org, and that's where you'll be able to sign up to register. You can join us for a day. You can join us for a week. For us, you can also just sign up and ride with us virtually, either on your bike, not necessarily with us, or on your Peloton. There are a million ways to tap in, and you can access that through our website.
Dewan, thank you so much for all that you're doing, and we hope to see you in Indy in June, on June 14th.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you. And thank you for joining.
All right, so there y'all go with the reparations, man. A lot of people talk about, slavery. Every time we bring up reparations, they bring up slavery. But if y'all see on my channel, I always talk about, the J. Edgar Hoover, the Red Line, and I talk about the wealth that was destroyed and was prevented from us being able to build. What's the real meaning behind reparations? So a lot of people try to make it cloudy so we don't get it. And I say, slavery, you wasn't a slave. You wasn't this. And it's like, we know the injustice that was done with the police, with the FBI, with all our leaders, that it's more than due. I mean, it should be, we should have been paid already. But now here, Tulsa plans on $105 million in reparations for Americans hit in massacres. So this one hidden massacre, but it was like over 150. Okay. The city of Tulsa, Oklahoma is preparing to award its Black community $105 million reparation package to address the harms caused by the Tulsa Race Massacre in 1921, one of the largest and most violent racial attacks in U.S. history. The plan by Monroe Nichols, Tulsa's first Black mayor, focused on community redevelopment and does not involve direct payments to descendants or the two remaining survivors of the attack. Nicholas made the announcement on Sunday during Tulsa's first ever official Tulsa Race Massacre Observations Day. The funds raised by a private trust include $24 million for a housing fund and $60 million for a cultural preservation fund focused on reducing blight. The Tulsa Race Massacre has been a stain in our city's history, hidden from history books, Nicholas said. The tragedy, he said, was compounded by economic harms that followed, namely the building of a highway to choke off economic fertility, perpetual underinvestment, and intentional acts of redlining, where Black people were denied home and property loans. Now it's time to take the next big step to restore, Nicholas said. The plan is called Road to Repair, and its funds will be managed by the Greenwood Trust. It seeks to have $105 million in assets, either secured or committed by June 1st, some which would also get into a legacy fund for the trust to acquire and develop land. Nicholas said the proposal will not require city council approval. The council would, however, otherwise the transfer of any city property to the trust, which he said was very likely. The Greenwood Trust borrows its name from Tulsa Greenwood District, a once prosperous black neighborhood with an economy so thriving that it was dubbed Black Wall Street. That all changed in May 21st when a white mob burned it down to the ground, destroying more than 1,000 homes, structures in less than 24 hours. An estimated 300 black residents were killed and many more injured. The event robbed Tulsa of an economic future that would have evolved anywhere else in the world, Nicholas said in a phone interview. So, y'all got to check out this full interview. I ain't going to hit it all, but they're definitely putting $105 million to the side. I mean, they working on it. Salute to the mayor who actually doing something that's, trying to get justice. But a lot of people talking this reparations talk and they just talk about slavery, which I think is bad. It's bad. But I want to know what y'all think. I ain't been looking at it. I want to know what y'all think about this reparations thing that's going on. Shout out to the guys in Detroit and the mayor in Tulsa. So they pushing forward. But there's been other news. Let me show y'all. Real quick. It's been other news on reparations I want to go over too. Check this out. On Washington State. Washington State to study reparations for the first time in its history. So we've been having a lot of people talking about studying the reparations, but a lot of us we don't want to hear that. So, but I mean, if you get into the money, that's a good thing. Tucked inside Washington State's newly approved $78 billion budget for 2025 and 26 is a historic move. For the first time, the state will fund a study to explore reparations for the descendants of enslaved people. Signed into law by Governor Bob Ferguson in May, the measure gives Washington the authority to examine how it might address the lasting impacts of slavery, marking a major shift in the state's approach to racial justice. So, I don't like when the NAACP is around but some like Shelley Sechrest, the director of the Washington State branch of the NAACP, anticipate that the actual cost is going to exceed the state's anticipated price tag. Secrets estimate that the true cost of the state's reparation commission is approximately $1.5 million. What? So, as David Ingram, the executive director of Seattle African American Reparations Committee, explained to the outlet, you can see the warp and weft of a systematic discrimination in the state of Washington. And they also posed a rhetorical question which communicated the thrust of the argument for reparations. This is a tapestry and an untold and unjust society. So what does just one look like? So they're trying to basically study it, but 1.5 million I think is crazy for the NAACP. This is why I be saying it's a disconnect with me and the NAACP because they numbers and what they be saying, it just seems off to me, man. I don't feel like they be really for the people. But for her to come up with an estimate of $1.5 million, it's crazy. But I ain't going into total depth in that. So, yeah, we got to make sure when we talk about the reparations, it ain't just about slavery. I don't think that they're bringing in slavery, but we need to talk about the stuff that's more that too, but the redlining, the wealth Okay, just with Gary Owens had a connection of the CIA to them making cocaine being shipped to the United States. Police departments was selling cocaine for decades, and this was just discovered a couple years ago. It was in Broward County, and then you got a lot of people that was in prison behind this. The same thing with marijuana, with weed. They got a lot of people locked up in the system with this, and it seems like the system know how to take advantage of the black community and just drain all the money out of it, and then displace our male leaders. So this is the stuff like the more recent stuff, but we still got, the COINTELPRO that happened to Black Panther Party, all of the stuff that was done. But let's get to the BET Awards, Brittany Renner and Kevin Gates. Now y'all remember I did a video on Kevin Gates, and he was talking about LeBron. He was talking about LeBron, and I'm like, why is this dude talking about LeBron in his situation? Now, I think it was a publicity stunt because he got the floor seats. I think he was trying to steer some attention and put his face out there, got an album out. He was trying to make some money. And this, said Brittany Renner is so talented. Kevin Gates could look like Travis Hunter if he didn't. We don't know what was happening with, but Brittany Renner is looking like she up on this one. Or she a Mississippi girl. Okay. Well, I'm gonna play a little bit of what she said, and I'm gonna give my commentary. Y'all, let's get it. Make sure y'all smash that like button.
I tried to give you a hug earlier.
Yes.
And you were like, no,
access denied.
You can't do hugs.
Yeah, no.
This is part of your faith.
Yeah, and I mean, just what makes me comfortable. Like,
no,
I don't
know.
you know.
Fuck, I am trying to make you uncomfortable.
No, yeah. I mean, I think for me, it's like, in my mind, I'm kind of like, why is any man giving me a handshake, a hug?
Yeah,
I
was like, what about and we did this.
We did this.
Air high five.
Because I just feel like there should be no man touching me except my husband.
Mr. Gates. Yeah. Are you guys married? Or is this like a, yeah, I don't know. How does this, I mean.
Publicity stunt. You don't just want to say it for real. This just like a. Okay, I'm on, man. My thing, man. What's going on?
And we're rolling. All right.
Waiting period in Islam, where it's basically you have 90 days to see.
So has the retention been lifted?
Okay, well that's
good. Is he still? Are you guys? Is he going? Did you release his semen retention?
Okay, first of all, you guys like 3 questions. So
okay, well, first things first. He was doing semen retention last time I saw him. Has the retention been lifted?
Okay, well that's a question you would have to ask him.
Okay.
But we got married April 6th and divorced May 28th.
So you're divorced?
Yes. But there is a 90-day waiting period in Islam where it's basically you have 90 days to see if you're pregnant because then he would be responsible, right? And then also in those 90 days, it's for reconciliation because Allah wants you to stay married. And then during those 90 days, you are not to entertain anybody romantically. So what I will say is that Islam has made my life a lot easier. I think even with this transition and things changing, right. Honestly, it's like, I don't think anybody gets married to not stay married. So I think my biggest thing for me is this is a nice 90-day reset, just focusing on myself and pouring into myself. And
that's a red flag. It's just making it seem like, what's the point of having these, what's the point of having all of this if it don't really matter at the end of the day? It's like, but this could be a marketing play, put out Believer. I mean, it could be, but I just don't understand. 2 months? She said April 6th to May 28th. That ain't even 2 months. It's like, damn. But she probably came up again like she did all the basketball players.
What I also will add is that I followed my heart, and that's more than what most people can say in this world. And I have no shame in that. That's why I'm here. BET Awards. As you can see, I'm out here on this blacktop by myself.
Yeah, I feel like you've always been.
Look at the attitude, how she moved her head like by herself. This new faith thing she's doing. I mean, I think it's a mean sales pitch. Like she got a real good sales pitch. And I feel like Kevin got caught. She talented. But yep, she is very cerebral. Yeah, like I feel like it's a man coaching this because it's talented when you walk around and you don't want a guy touching you. What is a guy doing touching you? I think it makes her market value still up there. It's gonna be some weirdo guys that's gonna be like, yeah, I ain't gonna say weirdo, but she's selling a good product. She's selling a product that is like, look, it's only for him. And I think it's gonna be another entertainer, basketball player. Ain't nobody doing it like this. Ain't nobody selling like she's selling. She is selling. She's selling the product. This ain't just playing. She ain't even touching guys. So, what if she influenced a lot of women to act like this? That's what I want to know. Do we think she probably already is on Universal? Put Kevin too slow. Kevin be trying to talk all smart, but I think he got on this one. I think she's coming with a mean sales pitch, and I think that somebody gonna sign up for her. Somebody gonna sign up for that sale. But let her keep going.
And I think anybody who ever speaks with you or listens to your long form conversations will have. I feel like you have your misconceptions because obviously you're in tabloids, you're on fucking Basketball Wives, you're on online.
Yeah.
People make their assumptions about you and who you are, but I feel like anybody who's like ever heard you speak and articulate yourself knows that like you have a great head on your shoulders and you're not some fucking bop. You know what I'm saying? So, damn. So the divorce was like a week ago. Damn, that sucks.
No, she's definitely smart, bro. And dangerous. I give her that because I can see, like, just by this interview, I can see how, she's selling the product. She's keeping her product on display when she's on the air, and people are understanding that she's stepping herself away from everybody else, and it's like she don't even touch me. So it's like, what's up, Mamacita? What's up, Avatar, man? I'm talking about this sales pitch that's going on. Y'all gotta hear it.
Many plan, but Allah is the best of planners. So I don't question that, and I don't feel like it's a sucky situation because what is meant to be is always going to be.
So you guys end up divorced, and now there's like a 90-day cool-off period if it reconciles, or you happen to be with child.
No, I'm not with child.
You're not. Okay.
No,
okay. I don't know you. That's what you said.
No. I'm saying that's what the time period is for. Yeah. That's why that's in place for that. So it's like, so basically, if you were to, divorce, and then he's like, oh, it's not mine. So there's the 3 cycles. That's kind of why it's 90 days. 3 cycles.
I can imagine being who you are, how much courage and how much it takes for you to step out publicly with somebody. Are you good?
All is truly well. I'm here, aren't I?
Yeah. I don't know. I could just imagine.
No. If I wasn't okay, like I said, I would.
Because I know you you I feel like you stepping out publicly with somebody is huge for you personally, as for anybody. But you're a public figure, and
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I followed my heart, and that's more than what most people can say. And I think when you do that, you get all of the clarity you need, and there's no stone left unturned. You don't have regret, and I think that's really what like a lot of people, like their issue.
I think she cleaned Kevin Gates, man. She cleaned him. I think he got 52 days, bro. But like I said, bro, she's selling a good product. I can see, especially with him being Muslim, and she's, she don't even put her hands on the guy.
Issue is even just in dating, marriage. It's like people don't give it their all. They don't just go for it, So I feel like, but when you do, you're at peace with whatever happens because it's like I gave 100%.
You
There's
missed
nothing. I left it all on the field, on the table, whatever metaphor. But yeah, all
do
is
you
well.
do you feel like first of all, what are some of the things for you? Because I feel like we've kind of seen you. I mean, I wouldn't say grow up, but we kind of seen you grow up
You guys have
over the last 10, 12 years, however long it's been since you've been a figure publicly. But
13.
So what we've been saying is, Brittany is FBA. I ain't know she was FBA. What you missed, Mickey? We was talking about reparations pretty much, and then we talking about divorces and Brittany Renner. Mama Lisa don't know who this lady is. I would say Brittany Renner is going down as somebody who finessed the system. I can say it like that. Is known as somebody who gives game, give information. So I think Deion Sanders had her in one of his like players meeting when she was talking about, how women can, mess up your situation. But I ain't know Brittany was FBA. That's what's crazy. But let's get it.
15 years.
Islam, how has it changed you, and how has it kind of helped just with you being a public figure and
No, Mama Lisa, she wasn't over there. That's Brittany. That's Brittany Griner. This Brittany Renner, she was with a basketball player and divorced him, got her money from him. I think she did a finesse of him. She's known for finessing male athletes out of big lump sums of money, to say the least. Okay, I'm gonna keep you on. I'm gonna keep you not Brittany Griner. It's Brittany Renner.
I feel like it was. We know you to be Brittany Renner before that bundle of Brittany, and we know that you got on because of the way you look visually, and now I think when you converted to Islam, it took a lot of people off guard. But what are the things that you're able to take from it that are helping you on a day-to-day basis?
I would say just even all of the guidelines and different things that are in place. But I think the biggest thing that has been so freeing for me is I no longer belong to this world. I just don't. And there's just so much peace. I feel so content. And I just don't feel like a circus animal anymore.
Yeah.
So people don't have to respect it. They don't have to like it. I understand people used to jerk off to my pictures and they miss seeing my ass cheeks and all that other stuff. And I have a gorgeous head of hair. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's like, the soul always wants to evolve.
Right.
And I feel like I mastered that. My soul was crying out for something different to evolve. So, it makes my life a lot easier, even just in terms of dressing and wearing hijab, with the way I conduct myself. It is just in complete alignment with where I am going as a woman and, what I want for myself, too.
Has it, because obviously, like you said, your son's birthday's coming up, or is it starting to?
Well, he just turned 4 May 5th. Cinco de Mayo, baby.
How has it affect you as a mother?
I mean, it's really like,
did he was he kind of confused? Like, Mom, why are you,
no. I mean, because I think one time I wore a niqab, so the niqab is just with your eyes. I'm wearing a hijab. He wasn't fazed by it. He's very used to seeing me in hijab. I've taken it off. I'm at home. Off the couch. He'll grab it. Here's your hijab. So, he doesn't. He doesn't see. He says a lot of like Arabic words though. He'd be like Allahu Akbar. Like he's a little Muslim baby, and I wouldn't force that on him. He's his own person, but it's funny. He'll pray with me and stuff like that. So
what inspired you to come to the religion in general? Because, like I said, caught a lot of people off guard. Was there anything like a catalyst or something that happened that kind of brought you to Islam?
I was no stranger to Islam. It was put on my heart a long time ago, like 2019. It was put on my heart then, but I just wasn't ready to accept it. And it's the only religion that I've been drawn to. I loved how peaceful every Muslim I met was. I loved the way they greeted each other. Right. I loved their camaraderie. But at the time, I'm thinking, what does that have to do with me?
Right.
I'm not a religious person, and I'm out here doing what I'm doing. And, last time you guys saw me, I'm getting carried out the club, like getting blackout drunk at
11:11 in Scottsdale.
In Scottsdale. Go down there if you guys want to have a good time. But it's
Please.
yeah.
We'll have to book you for something else now.
I mean, something wholesome, yeah.
Something wholesome.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah. So I mean, there's that.
Nah. So what are you up to? Like, obviously, I know you're multi-talented. I know you're a fucking author. But we know you.
So basically, man, she coming up. It's just another day in the park for her, but she does this, and I think it's gonna be another athlete, rapper, entertainer, because she's selling a product. She understands the assignment. But yeah, man, I wanted to tap in with y'all about this. I'm finna leave the lines open, man. If y'all want to call in and let me know what y'all think about this. You said Brittany Renner stalked PJ, the NBA player, while he was in high school. But yeah, y'all missed the reparations first part of the video, but it was some good talk about that. Another grift. Yeah, she grifting the man. She's a more experienced. What's Travis Hunter girl name? Whatever her name is, she's a veteran. This is probably like the top of the top. You put Supreme Grip. Yeah. She's definitely in her sales pitches that her religion. That's her sales pitch, Don't touch guys. She's selling the product, man. It's crazy that a lot of guys is gonna fall for it though. Cause she done found a way how to grift. But hey, man, if you fall for it, you fall for it. So it is what it is, right? But yeah, she definitely talented. She's a talented grift. But I think Kevin Gates is like a slick old salesman too. He's like a pastor. Somebody like a pastor that's stealing money. I think he a little grift too. If be honest with you. If he couldn't peep her out from what she was doing, that's like, but fast way to hell, that's a shame. Yeah, that's a shame, man, Nikki. She definitely using that religion though. But Kevin Gates do the same thing too. They both just money getters. They just collecting money. Now, that BET, they hosting BET, and I do want them to Fat Joe won't be on it tomorrow. So who we got?
UBI. To accept, press.
UBI, what's good? You changed from Doge, man. What, you done fill out with Elon?
Yep.
What's good, man?
That's exactly how it goes. Every 4 months, I change my name.
So you divorced Elon and Doge?
Yeah, but I caught it just on the day, just the day before he started talking that just on the day before, like a couple days before. I just changed it. I figured that YouTube,
May flag
which
you.
is Google, I don't trust it all the way.
Okay.
You know,
All
I
right.
try to clear up the. It doesn't matter. They would always be able to grab your stuff from whatever you say, whatever your comments are. But I always try to be mindful and just start a new one.
Got you. I ain't gonna hit you too hard about that.
And I like to play off of something already known, to make fun of it, like a name.
Got you. So listen, what you think about this Brittany Renner, man? Is that what you called in for, Brittany?
Oh, well, I could call him about all the above, but yeah, I think Brittany Renner's, I know her mother is white. However, she's her father is FBA.
Mm-hmm.
And she is from Mississippi.
Mm.
And she, so I'm not gonna when I say she is FBA, you could take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
Right. That's for her to say, but she does have it from her father's side.
Mm.
But I think she's become she's a dangerous person in the sense of she's seductive. She has a seduction power. And she's very athletic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She definitely could have been a soccer player star if she wanted to. She's that good.
Right.
Right. And stuff of that nature, But, her thing is money. She loves money.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows how to get it. And I think someone like Corinne Steffens from back in the day, Superhead.
Yeah.
Who was writing all those books on how you get these dudes and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think she just leveled up and perfected it,
Mm.
And so I imagine she gets royalties from her book that made her popular. How you get the NBA player because they don't wear no rubbers, stuff of that nature, all the above. And so fast forward, you got Travis Hunter's girl. This is like a failed pupil of this stuff. Because Deion Sanders had brought her in many years ago, trying to want because she was telling you, this is how the females will go after you. You're vulnerable. You're a soft target. Be checking out the blue checks on your Twitter page, the IG. We already scheming. We combing you out. And she was telling these young fellas this who are going to be multi-millionaires. She was giving them the game.
That's what I'm saying. So can you really blame? Think about it. She's giving you the game, and she's still getting dudes and bringing.
Yeah.
And people are still making the bad decisions. So at the end of the day, could we look at her? It's really we can't really judge her for just pimping these guys that don't make no sense. I mean,
no, I don't. I really don't. I think she's able to get if she wanted to, she probably could get one of these high-level politician warlords out from a different country if she really wanted to. And that's why I be thinking she'd be wearing those garbs a lot, too.
Yeah.
She's trying to get one of them sheiks.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's on the internet showing herself as a pure woman type. You know what I'm saying? So just looking at the presentation, I feel like she's selling and she's trying to get the next person.
Yep. I agree, because imagine like this, and we don't have to get too far into it, but it's like your birthday night and whatever. A woman is able to portray that like it's your birthday night, and she's wearing these negligees and stuff like that. She's smelling like cookies and milk, but she's telling you, not right now. You gotta wait your turn. That's basically what she's on, trying to, a thirst trap, even though she's fully clothed. And we have seen her without that stuff.
So we already know how she looked like.
Even a lame dude with a lot of money and
He's gonna fall.
lived his life. Yeah.
Yeah, because she can get into them rooms with the guy. She can get into those arenas like she's doing now.
Right.
She's at the BET Awards with this on. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, you're trying to sell a product, but hey, sell your product. It may, but it's a beware, because it's like you're hiding stuff for a reason. You know what I mean? You're showing more than what was really inside, if you ask me. But do her thing. She getting her money and selling a good product. Well, I don't know if it's a good product, but she's selling the product very well.
The buyer beware on that one.
Yeah.
I warn anyone. There's young ones like her, but they're just not. I would just say for anybody out there, the thirst trap is real. There are people who are falling in love for the internet princess still, or whatever. Like it's these people are. I'm not gonna say when I compliment someone like that, I'm just complimenting on like these are their qualities. This person is definitely cerebral, but I'm not trying. That's not what I'm ever. I'm not messing around with that.
Right. But what I can say is,
but I'm definitely
for a business strategy, like how she's moving.
Right.
She's doing a great job of selling herself, and keeping it coming, keeping high profile guys coming in and keeping that brand, her brand as, high profile guys mess with me. But it's like somebody like Kevin Gates supposed to have been able to see that. Like, you know what I mean?
Let's talk about this now, because you mentioned he's the snake oil salesman. And I believe he is. I just don't think he is quick like that.
Right.
Yeah. It's not quick enough for her. I believe he believes he can dominate because he's on his sex magic. I've been around females who listen to Kevin Gates only because it's like how like females, they like to listen to reggae.
Yeah.
Dance hall, and you see them whine and twerk and whatnot. Be like, damn, what they on? Why they really like this shit? And it's that sexual seduction. The dude could be ugly as hell according to them, but they want someone also who's just gonna talk raw to them. They don't want just the guy who's a gentleman. They want the thug who does have some intellect to it. The goon. They want the gangster. They want the bad boy.
Okay.
They want the wild man. Yeah, for real.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna say everyone, but even the ones who are saints.
Right.
Seem to be,
Now, before you go, I want to ask you about that reparations. I don't know if you've been watching it for that long. Before you get off, before you land your plane, what you think about that?
The one in Detroit.
Yeah, the one in Detroit. I like what them boys is doing. They bringing awareness, but
Okay.
You got the
now,
mayor.
one that we just saw with the
Yeah, the mayor in Tulsa. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's just like a shit and giggles though. You know, I think it's nice to hear. But we let's not give our hopes up. I like what he said. It does sound like it's more small business type of aspirations and putting equity, building it for ourselves. In the community, I think that the blueprint of Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Greenwood area, which is always shocked me when I found out about it, maybe when I was 20 years old, is that I remember hearing that $100 bill in that time could circulate the community at least 30 times without leaving the community at all. 30 to 50 times or something like that. You know, like that $100 bill. But today, you take a $100 bill in one of our communities, it may take only like 20 minutes.
Right.
To leave the community, to leave the area,
and then go to somebody else.
You know, do transactions, and it ends up on the freeway with someone else, and it's out of the community, basically.
Right. That's dope. So we need to get back. We need to get back to that, basically.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna get back California though.
I think California gonna leave. I think California gonna leave out of the United States, and they're gonna be its own self. But Detroit New Era got uppity Negroes trying to snake us. I'm on it though.
See, that's the dangerous thing about that too. What you just said, and I like what Miss Jones just said because she's on it. Yeah, we got to be careful, and that's why I was saying like I don't want to give my hopes up with a lot of these people who pop out the blue. I don't know this guy. Maybe I shouldn't have to, but we can't trust everybody with our money.
Right, and I'm with y'all on that.
We can't do with our money either.
We can't trust everybody, but dang, I hate to if that brother is doing this thing. This is the only thing I hate. I hate to have to put somebody that's not into that, and I put that jacket on. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I don't be wanting to do. I understand it. We got to do more research, but I don't like to put that jacket on my brothers, and I don't know nothing. Like it's like paperwork. I can't call you no rat without me. You know what I'm saying? I can't really say that.
I don't know if he has. Did he have a bald face though, or he did have a mustache?
Damn. I mean, I wasn't looking.
It'd be difficult when they bald headed and they got the bald face to the like no facial hair. I was like, I can't trust it. Like I don't know. Like it'd be difficult.
Yeah.
I know you're trying to take me to the slave trading auction. For real.
Right.
Can't do it, bro.
I'm pretty sure they go. I want y'all to hear this. Check this quick video out though, real quick. And I want to let me know what y'all think.
I was at a family office conference, and if y'all don't know what a family office is, it's generally a family that has accumulated some wealth, generally more than $50 to $100 million, and they manage everything themselves. Okay, so we're at this conference, and the guy, he says to me, he's actually an Indian guy, and so he says, Indian people, we got a couple things. We got motels, corner stores, like gas station type deals. Vietnamese people have nail shops. Cambodian people in California have donut shops. And he's just like running down the list. Indian tribes got casinos. And then he looked at me, he said, what black people got? And I was like, and then I posed the question, to Instagram and Twitter, and I got some reasonable answers back, which was like, oh, we got barbecue, we got this, we like businesses that we do historically in the Black community. But the differentiator is we are not in the each one teach one fund and mobilize each other in these industries like what they're talking about. And if you've never seen this documentary, you should definitely go and watch it. It's called The Donut King. The guy was a Cambodian refugee. He comes and he gets a job at a donut shop, and the person starts teaching him the business, and then they gave him some money for a down payment to start his own business. And then once he got it up and running, more Cambodian refugees were coming, and he was like helping them learn the business. He would teach them the business, then he put them in business. All right, help them go get a lease, help them get finance and all of the things. They stand it up, they pay them back, and then they do it for somebody else. And so at one point, there were like 400 donut shops owned by Cambodian refugees. And so I look at that and I said, wow, we do got barbecue restaurants, but when have they ever shared a business practice? When have they ever even shared like the special seasoning that all got season salt in it? Or said, okay, you open another location, I'll help you with the down payment. I'll help you get your lease terms. I'm going to help you because if you've never been in an industry, you don't even know what to ask.
Facts.
So now you got people who are in lease terms that are terrible that you could have helped because you've been through it and you've been burned before.
Why do you think that is, though?
And so I was at a family office once, and if y'all don't...
That was deep, man.
Yeah, touched my heart too because she's not lying.
Yeah.
Nope.
And it hit her. So it's like we don't have it to where we is expanding and opening each other up. Like, look, you could do this over here, bro. Boom, boom, boom. I already got the information, you know? And I think that's a way we gotta go. What you say about that?
No, I agree with that. And before I land my plane, I this is why I might be a little disgruntled with certain things, and I'll say this: I'm not here to give no free game, but because I know there's nothing for free. But my thing is like to drop that pebble into the. This is a metaphor for some reason, but to drop that pebble into our ecosystem and cause a ripple. But these people have to have their own paper, their own power to put that and apply it. So if I'm giving out some information that is dealing with lucrative, like stock or whatever like that, it might sound cheap. Like it sounds cheap to get into. I'm not trying to steer no one wrong. I'm trying to just, this is where it's going. You can pull your money out at any time. It's not my money. But it is just, but from that one successful win, it starts to charge like, babe, why are you looking at your phone? Or, babe, I want to show you something. You know? What's all this for? You taking us out for filet mignon? We cooking filet mignon? You hit the lottery? Nah. Don't worry about it. You know, this is what I got going on, though. You know, I figure out some way to get some extra income.
So would you do like the Cambodians do? Put somebody else on in your position. Put somebody else on. Put them on. Boom, 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 and free the people.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. That's what she's saying. She's saying that
I would start with a liquor store.
Right. So this is what I'm saying. At some point, for your people, you have to put them in position. I need to get the brothers who, you know what I'm saying, the surround. I need them to call in, and you got to put people in position, and they should be able to have been in business, just like you was in business.
Whoever's gonna rob me, who embezzled me,
right?
Whatever. Whether I have a check cash in place. I always wanted to have like a check cash in place when I was younger. Like I always be told by my father, like they're the first people to get robbed by their own family members, and stuff like that. And stuff of that nature. But yeah, it's gonna be usually one of your own. If you go to an Asian neighborhood, it's the Asian folks who strong arming them. Most of the time, it's the people who look like Sam Bankman-Fried who are going to be doing it to his own people. It's not always going to be some young punk who didn't have a dad.
But
and
do we got real guys out here? That's my point. Do we got real guys out here that's really trying to grow and put the community on? Can we say that? Do we got real people? We do, right?
Yes, we do.
So
yes, we do.
Do you feel like the real guys, right? Do you feel like the real guys that's trying to really do this and make moves, do you feel like they get overshadowed by the marketing of the negative things that's done from those same men? Rather than like the Cambodians, they come over here and they help each other. They're just putting each other on. They're not saying, dang, is he gonna snake us? Is he for you get what I'm saying? They just like, oh, you Cambodian? Okay, boom.
The people we had this going already not too long ago. I mean, our names are different. We call ourselves African Americans now for some reason still. But we were doing this while we were colored people, Negroes. We were doing this before. We were obviously doing this at a high level that was irritating. Like, we got to bomb these niggas. We got to make a Lake Lanier out of these niggas.
Yeah.
We were doing this at a high level for some reason. And then no matter the redlining or not, and it can be done again, but the mistrust that we have.
Right. Why don't we put that on them, though? Why are we putting that on our jacket? You get what I'm saying?
Their ice is still colder.
Yeah. It's like,
why? Mr. Charlie didn't spit in my food, though. I'm not boycotting. He ain't spitting my food, and there's always someone like that who's going to go right back into Mr. Charlie's establishment because Mr. Charlie, you just spit in my food. You can't tell me what to do. I'm not with all this cold stuff. And that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, I can agree.
We have Asian provocateurs. We have O'Neills. William O'Neills are still around us.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, it's just what it is, man.
All right, man.
I'm not going to say this, but I am going to say this. When it came down to the crack era, which I was too young, it appears that our entrepreneurship with people at one point in the early days of it, making 10 grand a night, things of that nature. I think the mentality of the entrepreneur has never gone away, but it's the extent of jailing us, the consequences, the risk. It's done a number.
Of course.
We don't have to get into the legal side of it, but what I'm just saying is that we have to heal.
Definitely. Well, bro, go ahead and land your plane, man, and I'm going to get into some more. Got about 15, 20 minutes left in the video. I'm going to go into some more, another topic. Go ahead.
The people in California who hear this, and you may not be able to make it to the hospitals and to the emergency rooms and stuff like that, help is on the way. Help is on the way. And but I would not be living in California right now. But there are people who are in the news are downplaying that there is a levee situation. You know, when the levees broke, it was staged.
Mm-hmm.
I believe these politicians out there have staged the situation. Yep. And they don't care.
Of course.
All right.
All right, brother. I'm gonna get into that. See what we can pull up about that. But I appreciate you tapping in.
Yep.
All right, bro. So I'm gonna get into this all hell break loose in Cali We could see that everybody been covering this. The video I did earlier was crazy. But the National Guard is out there. So let's check this out, and then we're gonna get some more commentary. But it looks like it looks like it's getting crazy. That one ain't live. Let me go check this one.
I saw the 30-second pink salt trick in a viral video. Weeks later, they stopped to call me delusional.
I can hear too live now from Fox. I'm Andy Mack. Just about 2:30 on the West Coast as we're following the latest with the protests and demonstrations against ICE, the immigration enforcement operations in Southern California. A live picture right now, as you can see, potentially some protesters dispersing, a line of police on the ground right now. Not exactly sure what's going on, but it looks like potentially Los Angeles police have just showed up, a show of force there. This might be a different vantage point, though, as anti-ICE protesters continue to clash with the national.
Everybody calling this out, saying that this is staged. What y'all think, man? Do y'all think this is staged? You know, I spoke on the video that it is about 64 million, Hispanics. And I think this is definitely a control.
I can hear too live now from Fox. I'm Andy Mack. Just about
governor and the president. Those cops and men and women on the ground from law enforcement and the National Guard, they're communicating as a one unit, if you will. So, the National Guard is in contact with state and federal, and also the city or county cops that are there to support that effort. So, the rhetoric may be going on behind the scenes, but unfortunately, as we see, the men and women are also, they're trapped here, and they're going to obviously keep the peace the best they can, trying to keep everybody safe, Andy.
And we see some of these buildings potentially right there, and we don't want anything bad to happen. How much are they making sure the peace is kept, but also some of this property, because that damage can add up very quickly depending on the scene. Are they protecting property as well?
Absolutely. And, I studied, because just before you were there, I was Googling, and I came up with a number through some research. Just the unrest and civil unrest and riots that we saw out in Minneapolis a few years ago, that was worth about $500 million is what they're estimating to property damage. So, we don't want
$500 million, almost $1 billion, $500 million. Come on, man, this junk may be an insurance scam.
to see that replay in Los Angeles. Good gosh, they just went through that fire. These people have suffered enough property damage. So, of course, the cops are going to maintain that vigilant, especially around the VA, other federal buildings. And then, the stores and the shops, Andy, that may be in that area, they want to protect that property as well.
Yeah, we're just watching this, and I don't know what happened to lead up to this moment, a demonstrator being potentially detained there by law enforcement. Of course, you can see behind this vehicle. And
bro, the guy looked like he got on the same helmet as them.
There's other protesters trying to gather some images of sound, and plenty of people. So again, viewer discretion is advised as we're watching this unfold on the streets of Los Angeles. These anti-ICE protests taking place right now, and we do not want it to lead to violence. I don't think really anyone does. We've heard from Governor Gavin Newsom that says, don't give President Trump what he wants in terms of this, stay peaceful.
Bro, y'all, I ain't lying. The guy looked like he had on, look at this.
That replay in Los Angeles.
Look at this helmet and look at these.
They just went through that fire. These people have suffered enough property damage. So, of course, the cops are going to maintain that vigilant, especially around the VA, other federal buildings. And then, the stores and the shops.
I look like he's one of them, in my opinion. That's just what I see. But my point is, I'm not trusting this $500 million. I'm not. The numbers sound like a scam. It don't sound like this is, really how people are feeling. But Yeah, I'm with your universal basic income. You like, yeah, it's an insurance scam. Yeah, that's what they realized what that was too. When the planes hit the building in 9/11, and it looked just like a demolition, and they were saying that the buildings just came down. It was definitely an insurance. Right, look like they fighting each other. That's what I'm saying, Mickey. I don't see this as no more than a. This is not no more than an acting plot that they put together, and they got certain scenes for us, and we got to watch the scenes. But common sense is common sense. But it's definitely some kind of money game behind this. But yeah, y'all know y'all heard it on here first. Out of focus camera, no 4K. Right. They should have been able to focus in on that. But what guy fight? I mean, somebody fighting with the police with a helmet on. It just looked like one of them, in my opinion. It just didn't even look like a stranger. And I see all these cameras. We don't have our own media outlet, and that's what hurts us. That's why we got to form a group of people that we push out our media, we pushing out our content, and we control the narrative. So we can be given these kind of narratives. But man, I appreciate y'all for tapping in and joining this live. I will be going live on Tuesday. I was going to do a live. I want to do a live for the meeting. If y'all tap into that, everybody who on my Discord, where we go over, group economics and financial independence, that we ain't got to wait on nobody but us to get us out of what we in. But we still owe what's due. So I'm going to catch y'all on the next video. I will be dropping more for Puerto Rico. I'll be dropping more Trill Eats. And we ain't put the debate. We postponed the debate the next week. We had a contestant, but we need to get another one. We got to organize everything. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Make sure y'all stay linked in. Smash that like button too for me. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace and love.